Picture this. A container ship moves silently through Geneva's early morning fog, while U.S. and Chinese negotiators shake hands nearby. Does this mark a shift in global trade, or is it just for the cameras?
Today's date is May 15th, 2025. Just 3 days ago, the United States and China announced a major breakthrough. They're cutting tariffs on each other's goods after years of tension. To give some numbers, tariffs on many products dropped from 125% all the way down to 10%. That's not subtle. But what changed now?
Pressure, really, on both sides. Both economies were slowing down, consumer prices kept rising, and the U.S. risked losing over a percentage point of GDP growth this year if nothing changed. Those are tough numbers to ignore.
And the Geneva Accord, as it's officially called, came out of these talks. Leading the negotiations were Scott Bessent from the U.S. Treasury, Trade Representative Jameson Greer, and China's Vice Premier He Lifeng. But here's what stands out. They didn't just shake hands on a single deal. They set up a system for regular talks. Is that a sign they want this to last?
It's a positive step, but it's not a finish line. The agreement only lasts 90 days and suspends 24 percentage points of tariffs. So while the effective rate drops to 10% on many goods, the U.S. still has a baseline of 30%. China matched that. It's a message, not a full resolution.
Markets reacted strongly. Biggest single-day gains we've seen in weeks. But is that just relief? Or is there something more to it?
It's mostly relief, at least for now. Investors see hope for more stable trade and some confidence returning. For American families, there's a real effect. The average extra cost of imported goods could drop from nearly $5,000 to about $2,800 a year. That's not just theory. People will notice that.
And the ripple effects? Lower tariffs help not just the U.S. and China. Manufacturers everywhere, especially those relying on Chinese components or American tech, should see costs go down. But can supply chains really get back to normal in just 90 days?
Not completely. 90 days is short, so you'll see companies trying to move goods quickly while tariffs are low. But big investments, like relocating factories, need more certainty than a 3-month window. Businesses have to choose. Do they act now or wait?
Does that mean we'll get a sudden spike in trade, then a big drop-off if talks stall?
That's likely. Companies want to take advantage now, but they're cautious about bigger decisions. Nobody's eager to spend millions on new supply chains with all this uncertainty.
But there are risks, right? This isn't a complete reset. Intellectual property is still a big point of tension. The U.S. says China doesn't enforce IP rights strongly enough, and issues like forced tech transfers haven't been solved. None of that's changed in this deal.
Exactly. The Geneva Accord focuses on tariffs, not those deeper problems. So while it's significant, it leaves a lot unresolved. It's worth asking, is this a turning point or just a pause before the next round of disputes?
That's the core issue. Officials say talks will continue and maybe the deal will expand. But will they actually tackle the tough topics? Intellectual property, tech transfers, subsidies.
If they avoid those, this may just be a temporary truce. Still, the fact that both countries made concessions, under pressure not just from each other, but from global partners and big companies, shows they understand what's at stake.
Let's zoom out for a second. Why does this matter for the rest of the world? The U.S. and China shape supply chains, prices, and jobs everywhere. Lower tariffs could mean cheaper electronics, cheaper clothes, but only if companies pass on those savings.
That's right. Stabilizing supply chains could help other countries too. But everything depends on what happens after these 90 days. Will cooperation deepen, or will old disputes come back?
So, are we at the start of a new chapter, or just a short pause in a longer conflict?
Everyone's watching closely, including us. Thanks for joining as we broke down the Geneva Accord and what it could mean around the world.
We'll keep covering this story as it unfolds. Thanks for listening and stay curious.